All right, we are live now. Good morning or good evening, depending where you are. I'm Crazy Beard. We got Hungryrye. We got Spirit of Jezebel. We're doing a kind of post-debate interview with this fine lady down here. I guess we'll go ahead and have her introduce herself to start with.
Hello, my name is Shay. I'm a exotic dancer, stripper, whatever. I mean, I don't know if I should be like correct, but stripper.
Nah.
Um, my name is Spirit of Jezebel on TikTok because I think it's funny. I had a guy like pushing my DM saying I'm a sinner, and he called me the Spirit of Jezebel, so I liked it, so I kept it. Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about decriminalization of sex work because I think that's important.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and I think like being a stripper, obviously not a lot of people understand how businesses like that are ran. So I think it's good to get that insight.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't watched our debate, we talked about legalizing prostitution in a regulated manner. And some of the highlights from the debate were that we viewed it as a victimless crime. The laws were inherently in violation of like bodily autonomy and the 14th Amendment. But a lot of people were confused with some of the logistics around it because there isn't enough information out there where it comes to like safety regulations and the financial portion of like how much you pay to the house. And the comment that you left on our video that sparked our interest is you knew more about that than either of us.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about like at your business, how do your regulations work with like safety?
So I worked at 4 clubs so far, 3 in Ohio and 1 in Las Vegas. So I don't have that big of a range, but I've been to more than one. I would imagine that the way like a brothel would be set up would be kind of similar to a strip club in the sense that like, so we do champagne rooms, which are private rooms. Every single champagne room I've ever done, there's cameras in every single room, usually more than one, or there's somebody standing by. I had one club where there were no doors. They had cameras though, and then they also had bouncers standing right outside too. So there's no funny business going on. I've been to one where it was a curtained off area and they had cameras and they had somebody watch the cameras at all times. I've also been the one in Vegas, since it's so big, they have booths. But like in the booths, you could like there's a guy that stands at the front, and then there's all the booths and aisles. You can see everybody doing everything. There's cameras like above every single booth. There's cameras in every single room. So there's not only people like standing outside of these rooms, there's someone watching the cameras at all times. There's cameras from different angles. I feel like people don't really understand that like whenever I'm in a room, I never have to worry about like somebody trying to get with me. And if that does happen, that's another thing. Like just because someone's paying me doesn't mean I have to do whatever they want to do. There is a consent. So like for instance, so I work at a contact is allowed. I work at a club where contact's allowed, but that doesn't mean like any contact is allowed. I remember in the debate, somebody was talking about like, oh, well, what if the guy wants like rough sex or something?
Yeah.
You don't have to, if you're not comfortable with the way a guy is touching you, you can tell, no, I'm not okay with that. Like, I don't like it when guys slap my ass. I'm not okay with it. And I tell them, please don't do that. If someone tries to grab you on stage, they'll get thrown out. So there's like, even though someone's paying you, there's still like a consent factor. You don't have to just do whatever they tell you to do because they're paying you.
Yeah, I think that was one of the big miscommunications is people didn't realize that you are of your own will. Like you're going to do what you want to do, not necessarily what they want you to do.
Right.
And one thing we talked about was panic buttons. Do you currently have a panic button today that you can press if you feel uncomfortable, or do you just count on them watching you and they come when they see that you're distressed?
In my club, we don't, but I have heard of some having that. Normally, if someone is being weird, I might just say, "Oh, you know what? Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom real quick," and then I might just run to the DJ and be like, "Hey, this guy's being really weird. Can you just keep an eye on the cameras?" Or I'll get one of the waitresses. It's one of the waitresses. I'll be like, "Can you maybe pop in every couple minutes, check on us, whatever?" And they will do that. So.
Okay, so there's more support beyond just the security. Basically, the whole establishment helps you out.
Yeah, because so with the room, I mean, normally people buy drinks, they get a bottle. It's not typically just us sitting around. Sometimes it is, but normally people want to get a drink, they want to get a bottle. So they have waitresses that will come in every 10, 15 minutes to be like, "Hey, do you need anything?" So yeah, and our doors can't shut all the way. They always have to keep it cracked too. So you can't. Yeah.
That's good. So when you do your shifts, how does that work? Do you get to pick your own hours, or do they give you certain days of the week that they want you to work based on like merit?
So the one I'm at now, I can literally show up whenever I want, whatever day I want, whatever time I want. There is like it's called a house fee. So like the earlier you come in, the less you have to pay. So like, say I come in at 8 o'clock, I might have to pay $30. If I come in at 11 though, I'm probably gonna have to pay like $75. So you can come in late if you want, but you'll have to pay more. So I don't like going there around 9. But yeah, you don't have to say, "Hey, can I work this day?" Or they don't they don't have like a schedule for you. You just come in whenever you want.
So you're your own boss, basically.
Yeah. I mean, if they are like, "Hey, we only have this amount of girls. Do you want to come in tonight?" Sure. I have worked at a club where they wanted your schedule like the week before, but they would ask you, "What days do you want to work next week?" So it's not like they're telling you need to come in this day at this time, blah 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 blah. I think there are some that are like that, but most are not. So.
Do you generally feel safe what you're doing? Do you feel like everyone's kind of on top of everything?
Yeah, and if they're not, I just yell at them. The thing is, like, so their money comes from us, right? So we tip them out, our DJs, our security, whatever. So if they're slacking and if they're not doing their job, I'm like not going to pay them. So yeah, they're going to watch over you and make sure that you're good, because otherwise, like, they're not going to get paid.
So they're motivated to keep you safe, because if they don't do their job, they don't get paid. That's actually really good.
Yeah. And I've never felt like any of my managers or whatever were like forcing me, "Oh, go keep that guy happy." Like if a guy's being an asshole, they're like, "Okay, yeah, get that asshole out of here." And the thing about rooms too is they're non-refundable. So even if that's another concern people have, like, "Oh, what if they get mad and they want their money back?" They're non-refundable. So if a guy's touching on you and you're like, "No, stop, I'm not okay with that," and they don't stop, you can literally be like, "Okay, we're done, bye," and they can't do anything about it. So you don't have to worry about like, "Oh, if I end the room, I won't get my money." You get your money. So yeah.
That's cool that they have that established.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that comes with it being legalized for the most part in the United States.
Yeah. Because I mean, I have had friends that do other types of sex work, and things have happened. And because they're doing something that technically is illegal, they're like, "Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't go to the police because I would get in trouble." So I think that, I mean, it fucking sucks. Can I say that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're not monetized, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. It sucks.
Say whatever the fuck you want. It's okay.
I just like, it just makes me mad that because girls are scared of getting in trouble, that guys feel like they can do whatever they want. I think we should also mention that this is not a women's only profession.
True.
Men do this too, but they never get crap for it. But men will be doing this too.
That actually brings up a great point. Some of the things they brought up in the debate was that it demeans women and it makes women lesser than. But Hungryrye and I were saying that women have already been objectified, and it's really just kind of turning the tables on that a little bit. Do you feel like you're empowered when you do what you do, or do you feel like you're taken advantage of?
Yes, I feel. Listen, I like my job. I think it's fun. And I actually went through, like, when I was 18, I had a sexual assault case. It was like this big thing. And it took me a long time after that to like recover. There was like a whole 6 months I didn't want anyone to even touch me. And I would get like panic attacks. I had PTSD things going on anytime I tried to be with somebody. It was not good. When I went into this, I actually started out as like a cocktail waitress, and then a couple months later I started dancing. And I think, I mean, in a weird way, I think it kind of helped me like get back in touch with my sensuality again and make me feel like, wow, I'm a powerful, sexy ass woman. And like I called the shots. Whenever that, like, I kind of see it as like, you're in my house. This is my rules. You will not touch me without my permission or giving me money or whatever. So yeah, I think it can be kind of empowering in a way. And I know another concern is like girls getting into drugs and alcohol and stuff, which I won't lie does happen, but like I don't drink on my job. I rarely ever drink at all. I don't do drugs. I literally don't do anything. I go to work and I come home and I go to the gym. That's my life. So I don't think it necessarily has to like lead people down a bad path, or like you have to come from a bad path to do this either. So.
And that
you went to school for a while too, didn't you?
Yeah, I was. I went to school for fashion, and I actually just left school for good in January. Just because, so like after my whole assault thing, I took a semester off, and through that semester, I kind of like realized, I don't know if I really want to go to school. But then I went back because everybody was like, "Oh, you should just finish." And I was like, "Okay." But yeah, I actually am kind of glad I stopped because I realized through doing this, I actually want to have my own businesses. I don't really want to work for somebody else, because once you start doing, like, once you're your own boss, it's kind of hard to like go back to just being an employee. I'm not really with that. I want to do my own thing. So.
Yeah,
I think another concern was people were worried that it wasn't a lucrative enough business. Like you couldn't make enough money, or it didn't pay out as much as possibly you were sacrificing if you viewed.
Yeah, they said 50,000 was the top salary for prostitutes. I really don't believe that.
I find that really hard to believe.
Right.
Okay, obviously I don't know like what the prices are. But I'll say this. A 1 hour champagne room, I don't know, it's different everywhere obviously, but I would say a regular price for a 1 hour champagne room with no drinks, no bottle, nothing, the baseline is $500.
Wow.
With some clubs it's like the dancer gets all of that and then the club gets the drink money. My club, they get a portion, so I make about $400, but still $400 an hour. And that majority of that hour is just like hanging out, talking. Maybe I'm giving lap dances and stuff, but like majority of it is just chilling, partying, drinking, whatever. So I can't imagine like an hour of sex not being at least $500. That seems absurd to me.
Now that brings up a question. So you mentioned drinking and hanging out. The dancers themselves don't do any drinking, right?
They can.
They can, okay. But there's still people in place to make sure that no one takes advantage of that or anything, I would assume.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've never heard of anyone like getting their drink spiked or anything like that.
Okay, good.
And I mean, if girls get drunk on the job, that's kind of their problem. It has happened where they get like wasted, but that's why I keep mine to like a 2 drink max. I don't do anything more than that. And it's only like if you tell the waitress like, hey, they want me to drink with them, but I'm kind of done, they'll like give you a virgin drink.
Smart.
Yeah,
that's a smart way around it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your opinions on our debate? We brought up a point of pornography being essentially the same as prostitution, but a lot of people didn't find the same similarities. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I would say it's the same. I'm friends with one of the biggest porn stars in the industry, actually, and I will say this: she loves her job. She has a man. They're happy. They love their life. She's living life. She has her coin. Like, they're doing very well. And she's told me the ins and out of the industry. So they're very, very similar to a point. Yes. I know people say, well, prostitutes don't get to choose who they sleep with, whatever. I mean, yes, to a point they do. You can decline a client, obviously, and with porn stars, their agent sets them up with their sets. They show up to set that day, and they do their scene with whoever is there. They don't choose who they work with either. So, I mean, it's very, very similar. Yes.
That's interesting.
But then they do at the same time, like, they can have their no list of, I won't do this, or this, and I won't do work with these types of people, but I will do this, and this, and I will do work with these types of people as well. So to a point, they have regulations on who they will work with and what they will and will not do. So I would assume with prostitution would probably be along those lines too.
So we talked about this a little bit, but the stigma around sex work in general, it does primarily affect women. As you mentioned, there are men that do this job and they don't really get crap for it.
Yeah.
What are your feelings kind of on that, on the double standard of women being, sluts if they do anything with their bodies, and men can just do whatever and not be criticized?
It's annoying. Because also with OnlyFans, OnlyFans girls get a lot of crap too, and I'm like, yeah. I literally, like, men are like, oh, if I was a pretty girl, I would start an OnlyFans too, and I'm like, I literally know. I have several male friends who have OnlyFans, and they are doing very well. And you want to know why? Because the male market is not that broad right now. So these men, they're like, oh, if I was a girl, I would. You can probably be more successful than us too. Their problem is they're not okay with the fact that most of their target audience would be gay men. That's what they get, like. And I'm like, you don't have to do gay stuff. They're more so looking at, like, your butt. I mean, literally being a guy and doing this stuff would probably be so easy. Like, if you have an OnlyFans for a guy, they just want butt pics and they want masturbation videos. Easy.
I mean, that seems like cake to me.
That'd be so easy. Yeah. That's all I had to do. I'd be like, okay. But yeah, I feel like female strippers get a lot of crap. Female, like, online cam girls get a lot of crap. Female porn stars get a lot of crap. And then, like, people aren't really in male porn stars comments being like, you're a sinner and you're a whore and you need to repent and blah, blah, blah. Like, no one really says that to them. They only really say it to the girls. So, I mean, I've had my fair share. I've been called an adulterer, a fornicator, a sinner, and I'm like, okay.
And that was the majority of their argument, honestly. It was majorly a Judeo-Christian morality argument. There's not really any valid argument that we could find that would say we need to have prostitution be illegal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm atheist, so, like, my worldview is everything should be legal until there's, like, a really good reason to not make it legal.
Yeah.
And with like sex work, I feel like if it's done properly and it's regulated well, I don't really see why it shouldn't be legal.
I mean, especially in America when we have separation of church and state, but I think a lot of people hold on to those Judeo-Christian ideals, mm-hmm. and they make it about that, but really in their head it's because it's a woman.
Yeah.
I really think that the patriarchy has a lot to do with it. I think if it were men primarily wanting to do this, there wouldn't be an issue.
No, I think even just in the real world, women being comfortable with their sexuality in general is like, oh my God. Like, I mean, you see it all the time. Oh, if a girl has over this number of body counts, she's for the streets. Where I'm over here, like, I literally know men who are in the hundreds.
I actually made a TikTok. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, I mean, who cares? For me personally, I don't care. I'll never ask somebody I date what their body count is. It doesn't matter to me as long as they're healthy. I don't understand what the problem is.
Right.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
I made a stupid TikTok once where I was like, have you ever noticed that we never call men sluts? We only call women sluts. But that really is how it is. Society doesn't care if a man enjoys sex. Society definitely wants women to enjoy sex, but they're not supposed to have it. But they should enjoy it, but they're not supposed to have it.
Right, and they can at it, but they can't have been with anybody else. But they should be good at it as a virgin. But they, you know,
and can we talk about how fucked up the idea of virginity is? It's a social construct. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Believe me, and I grew up literally terrified. If I lost my virginity before I got married.
There was a rapper, I don't remember his name, but he had his daughter tested to see if her hymen was broke.
Yeah,
T.I., yeah. Your hymen can break for a million reasons. You could ride a bike. You could literally have to go to the bathroom too hard. Your hymen being broken does not mean you're not a virgin.
And how fucked up of a message is that? Like, you're literally telling your daughter your body belongs to me and to your husband, and then your body belongs to him. That's kind of that doesn't sit right with me. And if I was with a man and he did that to my daughter, I'd be like, oh hell no. Well, I don't have it. But I'm just
on the topic of like bodily autonomy. The video that you had blow up on your old account was about that. Did you get any kind of backlash for the information you were presented and like the type of work you were in? Did they try to diminish the information you were presenting?
Well, I don't think a lot of people on that video knew. I think you would probably have to go through my account to like know. I feel like people probably just saw that video and commented, but I mean, I got crap on. There have been some videos where I've talked about being a stripper, where I've gotten like weird comments about. Oh, I've got comments about the way I look, my face, my body. I look like a man apparently, and I'm like, bitch, where, please.
I was gonna say, like, I don't see it. Just like
I know. I had someone say, why your titties look like that? Why are they so far apart? And I'm like, do you think girls? I'm like, I understand they're fake and all, but like, girls don't go around with their boobies up to their chin with constant cleavage all the time. That's not what boobs look like.
Is it the Renaissance?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. If that's what you think boobies look like, you must be a virgin.
You know what's fucked up about that too is when women do have fake boobs, they get shit about that too.
Yeah.
It's like they can't win. You have saggy boobs, they're ugly. You have perky boobs, they're fake.
When I dance, I got crap about, well, not real. I mean, sometimes I got like weird comments about I was literally flat. Sometimes I would get weird comments about that. And when I talked about getting a boob job, oh no, stay natural. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, don't go too big. Oh, you should go really big. Oh, you should get this size. And I'm like, you know what? And after I got them done, it was, oh, you should stay natural. Oh, you shouldn't have gone that big. Oh, you should have gone bigger. And I'm like, you know what?
So off topic, but I'm genuinely curious. Does it hurt to get them done? I mean, it's a surgery, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I went under the muscle. So it looked like when I woke up, it literally felt like I had been stabbed in the chest because you literally are like cutting open the muscle, putting the implant in, pulling the muscle back down and sewing it up.
What's the recovery time? Couple months, couple weeks?
There's like stages. So like recovery time for when you're mobile, a week or two. I was like bedridden. I needed help going to the bathroom. It was not pleasant. And then I would say in order to like I was off work for a month and then I was out of the gym for like 2 months. I would say they're fully, like now they're fully set in. I just got them done in November. So I would say it's like 4 to 6 months for them to fully like settle and become like squishy and boob like, and not just look like balloons. But yeah,
I think that's the best term I've ever heard. Boob like.
I mean, now they're soft.
Backtracking a little bit to TikTok, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what you do with TikTok? Because I know you do some political stuff. I even followed you.
Yeah, what happened with you getting shadow banned on your original account?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, TikTok, like, here's the thing. TikTok has taken, so on my original account, which was for Shay Mariah, they would take down literally like any video I put up where there was like any sort of cleavage at all, and like literally anything. I posted a couple like twerk tutorials, and I was literally just wearing a tank top and shorts, and that got taken down. And I'm like, I've literally seen girls in like bikinis as they should. But I'm like, how come I can see people in bikinis and I'm over here getting videos taken down because I'm in a tank top and shorts? And I've also seen guys do twerk tutorials as they should, but then I can't do it. I don't know. So then one night, like once I hit 10K on that account, I was like, oh my God. So I did a live. I was wearing a like sports bra and like high-waisted sweatpants, and I was just doing my makeup on live, whatever. And I kept getting like warnings of like inappropriate content. And I was like, what is, but I didn't understand what the inappropriate content was. I was like, what are they talking about? And then it just ended my live and said, you have been banned from live for like a week for inappropriate clothing. And I was like, really? So then from that point on, anytime I've posted, it never gets on the For You page. It's only just my like people who follow me or like people who like go to my page. So I don't know. I've tried several times. This happened like a month ago. I don't know. So I just made my second account, and it's getting there. I've had that one for like 3 weeks now ish.
Well, I got good news for you and bad news. I can tell you from the good news, I know what you did wrong. The bad news is what you did wrong is being a woman.
Period.
That's basically it. I've noticed a trend though. I think the girls that get demonetized, they get shadow banned for doing the twerking and the dancing and whatnot. Those are the ones with the more curves, and you see the more skinny ones being allowed to do whatever they want. That's what it seems like, anyways.
Yeah, it's rude. There was even like the one trend with it was like SpongeBob, and he's like, now it's time to bring it around town.
Yeah.
I did that one, and it got taken down, and I was like, okay, I give up.
Weird.
I know.
Of all the things.
I don't know.
But I've been seeing you post more political content. Where do your political ideologies lie? It's a big question.
Okay, I took the test. I think
like the compass?
Yeah. So
which one?
There's more than one?
Well, there's the Sapley one, and then there's the one that everyone's taking.
It's probably the regular one.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so I guess I'm left libertarian. I don't really know what that means, but
welcome to the club.
I mean, my basically my main thing is like I think with people's personal lives, the government should just be like, fuck off, everybody do what you want. But when it comes to like actually doing their job and taking care of people and making sure like people are good, I think they should be more involved. And obviously right now they're not doing that great of a job in my.
Right. So I promise we'll go back to politics in just a second, but the dancing thing made me think of a question that's going to be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
We have a member in our hype house named Jonah. He won't throw it back at 20K like we want him to. Would you teach him how to throw it back if we convince him to do it?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna teach him how to do the stupid TikTok kind.
You do the real stuff.
I'm not doing. The hell is that? We're not doing that. Not in this house.
I'm so sorry, guys. I had to.
If I'm gonna teach anyone how to twerk, we're gonna do it right. I'm gonna teach them how to thigh clap, how to articulate his cheeks. Okay.
Jonah, you hear that? We're gonna make you do it.
Jonah's gonna get his education done right.
Oh, this will be fun. I like it.
Back to the politics for a second, though. You're always free to join our Hype House Discord. We'd love to radicalize you into a socialist.
It sounds scary, but you're pretty dang close.
Yeah.
Okay, I love Hassan Piker. I love him a lot. I like to watch him debate a lot. Maybe listening. But yeah, he has a lot of good commentary, I think, on like socialist ideas.
Who was it? I'm sorry, it kind of broke up for me. Who was it that you were talking about?
Hassan Piker.
Oh, I don't know him.
Oh, I like him. He's good.
We'll have a new one to look into.
But I guess oh, go ahead.
I also I in general I just like to watch debates. I watch a lot of debates, even if I don't agree. So like I'll watch Ben Shapiro, but I'm not watching Ben Shapiro because I agree with him. I'm watching Ben Shapiro to be like, okay, how dumb is he gonna get, and what are some like? It helps me think of ways to like counter argument people, because I know a lot of these like Donald Trump dick suckers are gonna use the same.
Shay, can I just say I love you? Like,
yeah,
you're amazing.
They're going to use like the same arguments that like people like Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro are going to use, because of course they are dick suckers to them too. So you can kind of see, okay, I'm going to see what arguments they use, and they're either going to be so good that they convince me, or I'm going to understand the type of arguments they're going to make, and I can learn how to counter it.
Is that something you're interested in doing? Is like debating, maybe publicly?
I don't know. Maybe. I feel like there's definitely people I could take on. However, okay, like for instance, I know Nick just said that strippers are sluts, and I'm like, okay, you would probably never debate somebody like me because I'm a slut.
You're not talking about Nick videos, are you?
No, I am. But
I would never debate that, man.
Because I know damn well he would be the type of guy in like 30 years to come into the strip club and be like, my wife is having an affair on me. I'm so lonely.
Are you cool if I clip this later and tag Nick in it?
Because I'm married, of course. And I just, do you want to meet me at my hotel? You know, $200. That's a lot of money, huh? $200. I'd be like, oh, get out. Get out.
Are you cool if I clip this later and tag Nick in it? Because I think he needs to hear this. I kid you not. He watches me like a hawk. If I post one thing in his videos, he will respond.
You know, his little 5'4" ego would get so hurt.
No, can I just? Okay, I make fun of this man in my head so much. He smiles weird. He does. Every time he walks to the camera, he goes.
Well, we're totally derailed, but I love it.
Like that. It's so weird. He smiles so creepy. I don't like it.
You don't like the cowboy hat?
No.
Going back to the debates, if you ever needed a partner, I'm sure Hungryrye and I would be great.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. If you wanted to do some sort of bodily autonomy debate, you're very versed, and I like your points that you bring up.
I'm so down. I've made so many men angry, and I love it. I think I would love to see two girls debate him and Lance.
Yeah.
They debated Ashley, and she did hold her own. I love her, and I commend her for it. They interrupted her so many times. If it had been me, I'd be like, "You about to shut your mouth right now." I could not have put up.
Just shut it down.
I'm almost 22. I will literally be like, "I will fuck your dad. I will become his dad." I don't care.
Okay, one more unrelated question.
I realized that.
We're currently looking for another Socialist Type House member. You sure you don't want to audition?
Honorary member.
I mean, at the very least, you're an honorary member. But
I'm sorry. I should like chill a little bit.
If you want to make it official.
We all get fired up when we talk.
I've said that to boys in my comments. The one little boy, not little boy. Oh my God, that's bad. I call them little boys because that's how they act. Okay.
Right.
Fair.
I had this one grown person call me, you're ugly, you look like a man, and I'm like, you better watch your mouth before you comment on how somebody looks, because I'll fuck your dad and become your stepmom, bitch. Okay.
So more on topic. Are you familiar with
a little off.
a little more on topic? Are you familiar with Terry Crews and kind of his whole thing about toxic masculinity?
Yeah.
Are you a Terry Crews fan? Do you think he's kind of doing a good thing there?
Oh, I haven't really paid attention to like what he's doing. I know he got assaulted, but I don't know like what he does.
He's written a book on toxic masculinity. His whole thing, he's a huge feminist. His whole thing is men need to stop acting like little boys.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
He's one of my personal role models because he's like the most muscular man in the world, and yet he has the biggest heart ever.
Oh. Yeah, no, he's a cool guy, I think. And I especially like it because he is I think any guy can agree, like, if you fuck with Terry Crews, he could beat your ass.
Yeah.
He could beat your ass.
That's a fact.
Not only that, even as a straight man, I'll say that gentleman's pretty fine.
Yeah. I'd be down.
Well, we got derailed pretty bad there. I'm sorry.
I think we covered most topics that I could think of that came up during the debate. It was pretty simple. I mean, there wasn't anything crazy, unless there's anything you can think of that piqued your interest. How do you feel about unionizing? Like,
yeah, that's a good one.
Industry.
I mean, I think it's fine. I know, like, I think California, strippers were like unionizing or like protesting their, I don't know. There's like a whole thing going on in California about, they had to be, I think California changed their laws to where strippers aren't independent contractors, they're employees, but then they were still being charged like house fees and stuff, and they weren't being treated like proper employees would be. I think that was what was going on. I think that's been changed, but yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Cool. That's interesting. I have to read more into that. I haven't heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like
about it.
If you're an employee, you don't pay to work. That's absurd. So, like, yeah, the reason why independent contractors pay to work is because.
Is that what you're viewed as? Like when you file and everything, you're an independent, is it like a W-30?
Yeah. So
I can't think of what it's called.
But I think it's a 1099. I do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that sounds right.
This whole pandemic, I have not done it yet. But yeah, I'll be getting to it.
So I know taxes are a super sexy topic, but since we're in it, if you're an independent contractor, do you have to like hold your own taxes all year and pay it out at the end of the year, or how does that work?
It's complicated. Well, okay, so I keep track of everything. I like every single time I work, I write down exactly what I made, and I write down my house fee and everything, and then I total it up at the end of the month. And then when you go to do your taxes, you also, so you add up your income for the year. I think sometimes you can do it. I didn't know this, but I guess you can also do it quarterly, which I didn't know, but I guess I can probably do that for next year. But you also can like use tax write-offs too, obviously, and so you can use anything pertaining to your job. So hair, makeup, outfit, shoes. If you travel,
what about the boob job? Does that count?
I can use my boobs as a tax write-off.
That's awesome.
I think even my lips too, because I get filler. I think I could do that too. But if you travel,
take that, Uncle Sam.
If you travel and dance, you can write off your plane, your hotel, Uber, like literally anything. If you do online cam work, same thing. You can. I know a guy who's an online coach, and he is able to write off his rent because that's like his office is his house. So, like, if you do online work, you can write off your rent, your Wi-Fi, like anything. It's actually pretty cool.
It sounds very similar to like a hairdresser or like someone who actually goes out and does like the hard labor like contractors where they build things. Like it falls under that category pretty well.
Yeah. It's actually pretty nice. You just have to, it's just kind of tedious, like having to keep track of everything. And like,
yeah, I think people view it like more of like waiting, where you get tips and then you leave. But it's a lot more involved and professional than I think people give it credit.
That's actually a good question. Do you have like regulars that come back all the time, or?
Some. The big spenders are like really hard to find. Like the people who are actually like, they're going to spend a lot of money every single time they come. So I'll have some guys where like, they'll come a lot, but they're not going to spend $500 on me every time. You know, they might just come in, grab a drink, get a dance or two, go. But then they might come out on a Saturday night and they're going to be like, so it depends. Yeah. And then some people just sit there and drink, which is like rude. Go away. I've already I made an announcement. I said, listen, once strip clubs open again, if you're not in there to spend at least $200 on dancers, not drinks, dancers, get out. Get out. You're there for no reason. And I believe they're probably going to have like a capacity limit, probably. So leave.
Oh, that's actually a really good question. Do you think they're going to make you wear the face masks? And if so, do you think they'll be sexy face masks?
Get it bedazzled.
So yeah, there are actually like dance boutiques selling, like online boutiques selling like cute little masks and like matching sets and stuff. People are profiting off of this pandemic, and I stand. Like, except Amazon.
Yeah, fuck Amazon.
But like all my small business owners, I'm here for it.
Well, I think we could probably wrap that part up and go to questions if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are in the live.
I think we only have 2, which is probably Jonah and Kristen, but that's okay. This will be up afterwards.
Is it Jonah or Corvated? I know Kristen.
Or Corvated. Did I say Jonah? I'm dumb.
Jonah's gonna learn how to throw it back.
I'm super old for the internet. I'm 28, so sometimes I have boomer moments. I'm sorry.
Your boomerisms are showing.
Yeah, I try. It's almost my bedtime. I'm old.
I won't be going to bed for another 12 hours.
Well, while we wait for questions, seriously, you okay if I clip that one part with Nick and tease him with it?
Yeah, I think it's just Corvated and
about when he's older.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I
want to know who you're voting for.
Who I'm voting
2020. Yes, if that's not too personal.
Fuck if listen, I'm a Bernie stan. I love him. So I don't really know what to do. Listen, I hate Joe Biden.
May I interest you in Howie Hawkins?
And I don't know what to do because, like, I hate both of these dudes, obviously. But it's like, which rapist do I vote for? Like,
right.
I don't know. I guess. I hate
so before you answer, please know there's a third-party candidate named Howie Hawkins. He's raped no one, and he's amazing.
Oh, good.
He's probably not going to win, but we can put a giant middle finger to the system.
Yeah, it helps their campaign get money, too. The more votes they get, next time it'll help.
Yeah. So. I just feel bad. I don't like our two-party system. I'm not a fan.
No.
Anarchy. That's what we need.
Literally, I wish we had some guts because I would totally be down for another revolution.
Okay, so this is why we keep telling you to join our
social...
Yeah, you need to join our social site house.
I have a sword, and I've been wanting to use it.
So is that how you're going to eat the rich? With your sword?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be so badass?
That would be badass.
Like,
shish kebab.
I just have, like, this movie fantasy. I mean, like, unsheathing my sword and just slicing off, like, okay.
This might be an old person reference, but you know about Xena the Warrior Princess? You could totally pull that off.
Yeah. Like, I've heard of it. I don't know, like, the story.
It was a 1990s series, and she was always basically kicking ass every week.
Love that for her.
We did get another one. What made you start TikTok?
Oh, well, okay, I got on because I was bored. And
you got sucked in.
I kept seeing TikToks on Twitter, and I was like, fine, I'll cave because I'm just going to see them on Twitter anyway. And then I finally decided to make my own because I have a loud mouth. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, hopefully other people like to hear me talk. I don't know.
We've definitely enjoyed you. Random question. Cats or dogs or both?
Ooh.
Is that hard?
Yeah.
You can choose both.
Both, but I have allergies, so it's hard.
Aww.
But, like, my parents have 3 dogs, and I just love them, but I always come back really sneezy, but it's okay. I take Claritin. It's fine.
Okay, this is a tradition on our channel. Is Stalin daddy? If you don't know what that means, it's okay.
I don't really know. I only know about him from history class.
Young Stalin is like itchy.
I don't know much about Stalin. I always thought he was bad. Is he not bad?
He's gray. He's not bad or good, really. There's a misconception that he killed 20 million people when really it's a famine that killed like 95% of those people. But yeah.
Oh, so he only killed like a couple.
I would refer you to Tommy the Commie for the exact number. I'm sure he knows it.
Yeah, thank you again for taking time out of your day.
Yeah,
let's do it again sometime. This was actually extremely fun.
It was. It didn't really feel. It just felt like a conversation, which it kind of ended up being that way. Like,
well, what else?
That was the goal.
Yeah.
Less formal instead of being like, okay, what about this?
Yeah, because we definitely went off into different. I'm fucking people's dads. I don't know, like. I need to chill. People, listen, I'm really going to have people think that I'm just out here doing whatever. I don't. I sit at home and I watch YouTube videos. I just chill.
You heard it here first, folks. No dad fucking occurs.
I know. Ew. Disgusting. But I could if I wanted to. Just remember that. That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, should we wrap it up here? Or do we have more we want to ask?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I think it's just Chris and Corvée to chill in.
Well, we'll get traffic afterwards. It'll be okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who I am. That's why.
Hey, find us on TikTok. Go follow Spirit of a Jezebel, please, so that her account can go back up to 10K because she deserves it.
Is there anything else you want to plug? Like maybe your OnlyFans or anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know my. This is bad. I don't know
Is it on your TikTok? I can look
Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah. So my link is on my Instagram. My Instagram is Shay Mariah, like Mariah Carey, with an underscore after. I don't know my OnlyFans handle because
I'm getting it for you.
It's my alter ego.
If my phone loads, I'll get it for you.
Because I'm a dominant size on that, but
it looks like your OnlyFans is XXX Domina XXXX 3 X's.
Domina is that bitch.
Yeah. So
Cash pigs come through.
Yes, all my pay pigs, Findoms, men who want to be pegged, come through.
There you go. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
Hey, woman, 2020.
Well, thank you so much for showing up again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I liked it.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and end it. And we'll be in the studio if you want to finish up.
Okay.
Broadcast.